Welcome everyone from What's on the Table. This is Prof G and you are watching another episode of Graded, the show where we're not just going to unbox or review a particular statue, collectible, or figure. We are actually going to give it a grade at the end of each video. And for this episode, we are doing another store raid feature in Greenhills Promenade. A treasure trove for anyone with a love for the unique and the unusual. This is RunIt Decks, where you'll find a massive selection of playing cards, mind-bending puzzles, and some of the most fascinating curiosity items you've ever seen. And I got to meet the mastermind behind it. Meet Jed.
Hello everyone! Welcome to RunIt Decks. This is our one and only store here in Greenhills, San Juan City, Metro Manila. So I'm going to give you a quick and brief tour. So here is our logo. This is the RunIt Decks logo. And dito sa side na to, in here, we have our wall, our famous wall of playing cards. These are about 800, close to 800 kinds of different playing cards. And the shelf is about 8 feet high. So ganun karami. That's a lot of playing cards. I think we have the most selection of playing cards here in Asia. And in here, we have the Kilograms Cafe. We serve the best coffee around here in our floor. And then on this side, we have some rocker puzzles on display. We have the stag beetle and we have the printing press. So working printing press that is mechanically powered. Also in here, we have the architecto puzzle. This is our most expensive puzzle and it took my artist 6 months to assemble and paint this. And it's a one-of-a-kind puzzle and it's our most expensive puzzle ever.
Jed, can you tell us about the story behind RunIt Decks? How did the idea of the store came about?
My interest with playing cards started back in college in 2009 or 2010. Since we play a lot of poker, like almost every day, I tried to look for the poker deck that we could use for our games. I went to Trinoma and I saw Cutting Edge. That's where I discovered there was about 10 to 12 different kinds of playing cards. Then when I saw there's a black deck, inverse or reverse deck of playing cards, I went to check online sa Google and I saw a magic brand called Illusionists, and that's where I saw that there's a lot of different custom playing cards, and that's the time I decided that gusto ko mag-collect. I want to collect playing cards. Yung allowance ko is just enough for my daily expenses, and buying playing cards for 500, 600 per deck, it's quite expensive for me. So I thought of ways on how I could fund my hobby. So I started to buy and sell playing cards. So until from 2010 until today, right now we produce our own playing cards.
What inspired you to focus on premium cards and puzzles and other unique curiosities? Because looking at the store, it has its own identity. So is this your personality?
Yes, for me kasi I really like unique products. Whenever I curate or whenever I decide which designs or products I bring in, it's something that should interest me. For example, the playing card selection we have right now, I personally curate them all and make sure that there's something interesting or there's a story behind every single deck or a puzzle. It should be unique enough for me to be able to bring it here in the Philippines.
But what do you think it is that makes them, much more curious when it comes to puzzles? What engages them in seeing the products like puzzles? Because this is probably the first store that I've seen that actually has shelves of puzzles. Why do you think that is?
When we mention puzzles, automatically people are thinking it's jigsaw puzzles. No? When I discovered that there are different kinds of puzzles, not just jigsaw ones, and I saw the ones like from the Japan, Hanayama, it doesn't look like a puzzle at first. It's rather, it looks like a jewelry or something very unique. It's a conversation piece. So that's why I decided why not try to bring it here, and something that would be interesting enough to share with other people.
I get it. So you see something, let's say on a center table, and then people are gonna ask, okay, you know what? This is just not a display. You can actually, move it around, and there's like a secret to it. Right. So that's the appeal.
Yes.
Okay. What's the most surprising thing you learned about running the business? Focus on niche items. Like I said a while ago, this is your personality. Are there obstacles and challenges that you faced in running the business?
Probably the challenge came from the earlier years of the store, way before social media is really a big thing. Right? People have to see them in person in order for them to appreciate things. Challenge back then was to say that playing cards is another form of collectible. It's not just for gambling. Two things kasi usually it's either for gambling or for magic. For me, I'm a collector myself. I don't do magic tricks, but I really like collecting. That's why I wanted to push the collectability side of playing cards, which people somewhat are not aware of. With social media right now, you can sell anything you like. Any interest that you have, you can sell it to people. It's very easy to connect with the people with the same interests right now with the social media. And like back then, it's very hard. On this side, we have the different puzzles from Japan. They are called Hanayama, and it varies in level. We have the 6 as the hardest, and the leftmost we have the easiest. This is a level 1 puzzle. On the bottom layer, we have puzzles from Rocker as well. And we also have puzzle boxes from Germany, mostly in Europe. And the objective of these is to open and find the secret compartment. The third layer, we have a different selection of tarot decks. These were sourced from independent publisher as well as big publishers. So tarot, oracle decks, Lenormand, we have it here. In here, we have these are called secret boxes. These are handmade in Japan. The way to open this is quite intricate and it's very interesting. Most of my favorite puzzle boxes came from Japan. On this side, these are from Rocker as well. These are self-assembled or DIY kits where you have to assemble them. And then once you have assembled them, it's an actual functional puzzle. So for example, this one is an actual gramophone. It plays music. In here we have a mechanical marble kits, and in here we have the ancient version of the globe. So that's about it.
So what advice would you give aspiring entrepreneurs who want their own shop, to build their own identity when it comes to sharing their passion, and entrepreneurs who want to have like a similar niche business?
First is it should be sustainable. That's my core requirement for everything that I do. It should be sustainable. One of the reasons why I did not push through with my corporate life, it's because it's not sustainable for me. I get tired easily working for a day job, right? Number 2 is you must show up. You must be visible. Right now with social media, it doesn't matter if you have the best products, if you're not visible, wala ka. Compared to the ones that sell a much cheaper price but they are not visible.
Who's gonna know, right?
Yes, yes.
So when it comes to the store, what kind of experience do you want your customers to have when they visit RunIt Decks here in Greenhills Promenade?
Basically, the idea of doing this store is to overwhelm people that there are so many kinds of playing cards and puzzles. And number 2, we wanted to make them feel that coming here is like coming to a Disneyland. It's something that you have to experience yourself just in a specific area. So that's one of the reasons why we only wanted one store.
Why Greenhills?
Easy kasi Greenhills is the mecca of hobbies, diba? So you have toys, any kind of hobby you can find it here in Greenhills. So parang this is like a good startup spot to do business, especially for very niche hobbies like this.
What's your favorite part about running RunIt Decks?
For me, it's being able to bring in products that I'm interested with, diba? And be able to see them in person. Another thing right now is we are into producing our own playing cards. And I really like creating. I cannot draw, but I have so many concepts in mind that I'd be able to share this concept through our projects like playing cards. So it's a rare opportunity for people to do what they really love, diba? For a living. So it's something that I'm really grateful for.
From 2010 to present, what was the most rewarding experience na naramdaman mo running the business?
For me, it's being able to double down with what I really like. Kasi before I started 2010, I'm still doing my day job. I'm an auditor sa BDO and sa mga audit firms, 2 big firms. And yung feeling that it's very rewarding in a way that when I quit my corporate job, I'm not sure if this will do well. 7 years later, I'm still here. That's the most rewarding. It's probably, and at the same time, yeah, I'd be able to produce and work with big brands right now. Be able to introduce my hobby to different people, to a wider audience. It's something that a rare opportunity talaga. And in here, we have our table of our projects that we have been doing in the past 3 years na, no? So we have our first deck here. This is our first deck. This is called Inception Playing Cards. This was produced 2021, and it won 5 awards from Deck of the Year awards, 5 awards. No? And also, our second deck was our first licensed deck and our first bicycle deck as well. It's this one. This is called the Bicycle Voltus 5 playing cards. This was released last year at ToyCon, and it was sold out under 2 weeks. Ganun kabilis. So if you want to see the cards inside, it's in here. Yan. So here is what it looks like inside. So we printed 1,000 copies and it sold out 2 weeks. Ganun. And more people are still looking for it until this day. So next, our third deck was this one. This is Paper Royals. This is in collaboration with Winnie Yipi and Vincent. They are Singaporean artists. And this is the first ever deck of playing cards that has 2 figures. This was released in last ToyCon 2024, and the figures were sold out during ToyCon as well. For a general audience, this is the Playful Dogs. This is a full deck of custom artwork, and it features different breeds of dogs. And this was designed by an Indonesian artist, Eric Christian. Probably one of the most popular release that we did so far. Next one is we did a collaboration with Secret Fresh with Boss Biggs or Big Boy Cheng. And here is his own deck. This was released, I think August, 3rd week of August. And it was an exclusive to Secret Fresh in Molito, Greenhills, in Molito, Alabang, and in Ronak, Greenhills. And I think the uncut sheets were already sold out from Boss Biggs.
If you could answer this question, how scared were you to make that jump from corporate to doing your own thing?
I quit my job September 2017, and then December ikakasal kami. So I really need money for it. But then the wedding portion, the wedding is already set. After the wedding, I still have about 3 or 4 months worth of funds to do this full time. And there's always a plan B for me. Just in case it doesn't work, I can always go back to my corporate job. Yun lagi yung mentality ko. Up to now, 7 years later, if this doesn't work, I go look for a job. But fortunately, we're still here and we're still doing this. Yeah. We're bigger than 2017.
Jed, actually, this is the one that's been asked by my team. You always say, ang weird nito, no? Why? How did it start and why do you say that?
So, last year, I have a specific list of products na kakaiba. Not playing cards, not puzzles, not tarot. Pero it's something that I'd be interested with. So, I decided to pursue a passion project. Tapos, I'd be featuring it sa social media, TikTok, Instagram, wherever. And nag-isip ako, what is something that I could say within the first few seconds of the video that would gather or would get the attention of the audience. So, nag-experiment ako. So, una kong naisip is, ang weird nito. So, 40-something videos going 50 videos na yun pa rin. It's the same tagline. It so happened that that's our most popular videos right now.
And then when I always see it in my feed, and then when you say, ang weird nito, then I'm glued for it for like 30 seconds to a minute watching, why is this weird?
Yes,
It actually worked.
Yes.
What's the most unique or rarest item you've ever sold here at RunIt Decks?
It has to be unbroken playing cards. It's a one of one. It was created by Alex Chin. He's based in the US. The reason why it's unique, it's number one, it's a one of one. And number two, it's memorable for us because that was our first viral video on TikTok. So we got 800K views on the first 3 days.
Wow. What are some of your collection's most popular playing cards right now?
Last year it was Voltes 5 because we sold out under 2 weeks, and right now it's Playful Dogs. This is like a full entire deck of different breed of dogs. So we produced this, and so happened that there's so many people, for parents, mga dog lovers, right? So
How has the demand of premium playing cards grown in recent years?
back then in 2010, when I started collecting playing cards, it's possible to collect every single custom deck release because there was like one custom deck per month worldwide. On this year, at this moment, it's impossible to collect every single custom deck right now because in a month there could be like 50 to 60 different kinds of custom decks being released. And like us, who produce these bicycle branded playing cards. So for me, my direction for Philippines is to make this really a collectible by collaborating with brands and pop culture.
Let's talk about guidance. Guiding the people who's going to enter the world of collectibles. What should someone look for, when buying their first deck of premium playing cards? Give us some tips.
Ako, for me, get the deck that you really like, regardless of value. The reason why most of the playing card collectors back then, they got collecting fatigue, it's because they are chasing decks that they don't really like, but goes up in value. So the moment that you consider the value or the future value of a deck, and at the same time you didn't really like that deck that much, it would burn you out. So the advice I'd always give is to buy what you want, regardless of value. This is something exclusive that no other people have seen yet. In fact, this would be the first time that we would be sharing this in public. And here it is. This is called Transition, the follow-up project for Inception. So this is the second deck, and it features the gods and goddesses in the Philippines, Tagalog in particular. So we have the god of fire, the thunder, hangin, we have habagat, we have every Tagalog god or goddesses that you could think of, it's seen here. Now, what's interesting about this is it seems like all the court cards are here on the sides, on top and bottom, and somewhat here in the middle, it's something like a blank canvas, right? The reason why we did this is if you light it up with a UV light, it reveals Bathala. Remember, Bathala is he's everywhere, omnipotent, omnipresent. We did this artwork in UV light as well. And for the court cards, we did something like an aura effect, as you can see. So for example, this is a god of fire, so we did like a flowing power around him. And this is the goddess of love, so we did fertility symbols. We have the god of war, we have the god of seas, and so on and so forth. So this is something that probably we'll be able to share with you, and it's something that we have yet to release.
Jed, share it to us. Do you have like a personal favorite deck in your collection? If so, why?
Right now, probably I have to pick not just one because what I collect right now are Japanese exclusive decks, bicycle branded exclusive decks, because you cannot outright purchase them. There are different ways you can get them but not purchase them. So they are not released in retail, but you need to look for a specific person to acquire different kinds of decks talaga. It's something that money cannot buy. You have to have connections, network. As a whole, my bicycle Japanese exclusive decks are the ones I treasure the most right now.
Why do you think people are drawn to collectibles, whether it's playing cards or even, in your case, puzzles? Why do you think that's existent?
Feeling ko it has something to do with nostalgia. There's a boom with collectibles when it comes to puzzles or playing cards. Pangalawa, the capability of the people today's generation to purchase collectibles. And for the lack of a better term, it's easier to poison other people into your hobby, diba? With the social media. Kaya that's why there's a huge influx of collectibles and collectors right now. Guys, we will be releasing different collaborations when, in particular, to playing cards. So we have a lot of interesting releases lined up for this year and next year. We have an ongoing collaboration with Quicks, with Chicken, Crayon Chicken, Green, and other international artists. So watch out for those as well.